Today we're talking about why the INFJ gets constantly rejected. I mean, don't you know that situation? You've said something, you've done something that is really extraordinary. You know that this is true. And still, every single time you try to present that, what happens? People don't show any interest or they pull away. It can be that you've done something amazing for another person, or you've come up with an idea that is just out of the ordinary and people should go wild over it. But what are the reactions? Crickets. Or worse, people move away, ghost you, and you don't know what happened. This is something that INFJs constantly are bombarded with, that they experience, and it's always a question of why. Why is that happening? Is there something wrong with me? Am I not understanding something? Or is it really this concept of I'm too great, it's too much, people just cannot handle it? We're going to talk about this today in detail. Remember, before we get started, that if you want to take the next step in creating your INFJ epic life and you want my personal help with this, then work with me one-on-one. All the information you find in the link in the description. The thing that makes us INFJs so amazing is that we come up with original ideas. We understand how society works, we understand how others are functioning, and then we come up with something unique, something that hasn't existed before. There's this amazing concept if you think of AIs. They say that an AI machine can create a musical piece that you've never heard and you're going to love. It's just going to resonate with your mind like nothing ever has before, because all the music that we hear now is always inspired by the music we've known before that. And so there's always some connection. But that does not mean that this is all there is. There is a way to find order in chaos that once you listen to it, it just blows your mind. It opens up your horizon. That's how AI, so artificial intelligence, is working and how it is developing in the future. And we as INFJs work the exact same way. That is why we get rejected so often. I mean, think about it. We understand an emotional atmosphere. We understand things that are working, things that aren't working, and then we come up with a concept. Because of the way our mind is set up, so our first function being introverted intuition, our third function being introverted thinking, we come up with a concept that makes perfect sense, that is totally in harmony, and that we then present. Again, it can be an idea, it can be a way how we understand the other person. But because it's something that person probably has never heard before, never seen before, they don't know how to accept that. And I've experienced this myself as well, even as an INFJ. One of the types that is considered to be a mirror type to us, that shows us so often what we might be like neglecting from our life, is the ENFJ. So when I met an ENFJ years ago, there was something that happened with me. It evoked something in me that I didn't know that I was missing. And at first sight, I didn't know what was going on. It took me a while to grasp that concept and appreciate for what it is, and to actually use it as the catapult for my next evolution, right? That was when I started the channel and all the amazing things that happened after this. So imagine how it is for other people when you give them a concept that is brand new, that they have never seen before. They're probably not INFJs. They're probably not practicing what we do all the time, which is to make sense of it all. So when they get bombarded with something and you see in yourself, oh, this actually touched them on a deep level, it made them open up, it expanded their horizon. That may all be true, but it is still something they cannot grasp. And what is actually happening in their mind? It's like, okay, something is happening. I don't know what that is, and I don't know how to react to it. I'm actually scared because I'm losing control. There is something that person, that INFJ, might understand better about me than I understand myself. What is my reaction? Of course, I'm going to hide. That's like how the typical person reacts. And again, this is not just talking about romantic relationships. We're also talking about having a great idea of something that can work in your workspace, or if you want to start writing a book or a channel or whatever it is. So how do we interpret this? What are we doing once we know that this is going on? Well, at first we accept it. We don't try to change it. We're not wondering why people reject us and take it personally. We understand that this is just how it is. And it doesn't mean that you have to feel the pain of rejection. It doesn't mean that you have to feel that this is something that's going to ruin your life or something that's going to make you feel alone, because this in itself gives you a huge advantage. It gives you such an amazing opportunity, and we can take advantage of it. Yes, it is a little bit more challenging, but if you dare to take that challenge on, you can create extraordinary in your life. You can create that epic life. You can create that life that everybody's dreaming of but doesn't know how to access. This is the gift we are being given. So every single time you're being rejected by somebody, understand that the reason that you're getting rejected is because your mind is already a step in front of that. Your mind is already at the next level, and that's why people cannot get it. If everybody would get it, you wouldn't have that advantage. So how are we going to use that advantage? Well, at first, you grieve it. You grieve the fact that you have an idea and people are not going to see that value. And then you understand that there is not one successful person in this world, and it's success on all levels. It can be success in helping people. It can be success in bringing out your vocation. It can be success as in people seeing that you have something special to give. It can be financial success. All of this, every single person who has had success in their life, they saw the future before anybody else could see it, and they went for it. When you create an amazing result in your life, it is always based on creating something twice. One time you create it in your mind, and then you create it in the real world. And only then, when you have started creating it in the real world and there is a momentum, you see how things are actually manifesting. So they're being made real. We're not just talking about you have an idea. No, people on the outside who couldn't understand your idea now see that it is possible. Now they see that it is happening, and then they change their mind because they don't want to have a reality break. They don't want to have cognitive dissonance by holding on to that belief that whatever you said cannot be true. Up until this point, they could do that because their reality tells them that's all that is possible. And all you have is an idea. No reason to have some kind of break here. They just say, okay, you have an idea and you don't know what you're talking about. What you imagine is not possible. And this, by the way, can also be in a romantic relationship. You know, on a particular level, when you meet somebody, oh, we could have such a great future together. Not just you, but that person as well. You can see that. That person cannot at that moment. You've experienced this. This is not the first time that this has happened. Yes, people have seen you and appreciated you often enough, but you've experienced well more times when the other person wasn't able to grasp that concept. And if you are stuck at that place and you take it personally and you think there's something wrong with me and I have to just do more and more and more, what is the other person going to do? They're going to pull back even more. No way that's working. But if you understand, I know that I'm right. I know that the thing I've made up in my mind can happen. And in many ways, it's not dependent on the other person. Yes, in a romantic relationship, you need that person to be on board, but you don't need to hold on and wait for that person to see it. You go about your way. Same thing when it comes to starting a new project. You go your way, you do your thing, and the person at some point gets it. They either are on board or they say, okay, I cannot grow that much. So what is the key to all of that? The key is that you don't wait for others to see that there's something about it. You actually make it happen, and then people come around. Successful people, as I said, in all kinds of areas, they've done this. You've seen people like, let's say, Jennifer Lopez. Not everybody likes her, that's not the point. But for years, people said she cannot sing, she cannot dance, she's all about being in the tabloids. Well, the point is, she has pulled through. She has done her thing. She can sustain herself. She's having her business. She's doing whatever she wants. So this happened because all that external stuff that was happening wasn't strong enough to keep her from going to do the things that she thinks she can do. And now she's living it and she's doing her thing, and people have come around. That concept is something you'll see all over the place. This isn't just an INFJ thing. But we as INFJs are so strongly living in the future, knowing that this could happen, that as long as we wait for people to get it now, we're never going to be able to get that connection. You get the connection with people, that people see what you're about, that they connect with that version of you that you're creating, once you're willing to stop stop caring about this. Once you understand rejection is a given in the beginning, I will prove to myself that I can do it. And then people will come around. You'll see your family come around, you see your friends come around. And it's not because they should have seen it before and they're bad people and now you have to cut them off. It's just that you have an ability to see something that hasn't existed yet. Remember the AI that creates a music that nobody's ever heard before. Make it real and people will come around. That's the key. If you want to go deeper into this topic, then watch the video why INFJs face immense judgment.